Have you ever wondered why some men effortlessly linger in a woman's mind, while others are forgotten the moment they leave? What about their presence, their words, or even their silence makes them truly unforgettable? If you've ever wanted to be the man who sparks curiosity and intrigue with just one interaction, this is for you. In today's world, many men try too hard, relying on flashy gestures or clever lines to make an impression. But here's the truth. Creating a lasting impact isn't about showing off. It's about how you make her feel. From the quiet confidence in your demeanor to the warmth in your gaze, the most powerful impressions are built through authenticity and subtlety. In this video, we'll uncover the secrets to leaving an impression that lingers. You'll learn how to use body language to communicate confidence without saying a word, ask questions that draw her in, and master the art of intrigue by sharing just enough to spark her curiosity. Stick around until the end, because we'll reveal the one often overlooked element that can transform any first encounter into a moment she won't forget. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Your support means a lot, so if you find value in this video, please give it a thumbs up to help spread our message. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. Many men approach first impressions with the wrong mindset, believing that bigger and bolder is always better. The allure of a flashy entrance or a conversation filled with self-promotion often leads them astray. While it's natural to want to impress, focusing too heavily on superficial elements can have the opposite effect. Women, in particular, are highly perceptive to authenticity or the lack thereof, and are quick to sense when someone is trying too hard to win their approval. A common pitfall lies in placing too much emphasis on appearance. There's no denying that looking your best can make a positive impact, but overthinking your wardrobe or obsessing over minor details can make you come across as vain or superficial. A well-tailored outfit and good grooming can catch her eye, but it's the way you carry yourself that truly holds her attention. Confidence, after all, isn't something you wear, it's something you exude. Another frequent mistake is turning the conversation into a monologue of achievements. Men often feel compelled to prove their worth by listing accolades or recounting grand tales of success. While these stories may momentarily grab attention, they rarely foster genuine connection. In fact, they can make the other person feel overlooked or undervalued, as the focus remains squarely on you. True connection comes not from impressing someone, but from engaging them, showing interest in their world, and valuing their thoughts. Trying too hard to dominate the interaction is another trap. Overly assertive behavior, such as interrupting or steering every topic toward yourself, can create a sense of discomfort or even push the other person away. For example, constantly steering the discussion back to your interests signals a lack of attentiveness and empathy. Women often prioritize emotional resonance over surface-level charm, and failing to recognize this can lead to a missed opportunity. The pressure to perform, combined with the fear of rejection, also leads some men to adopt exaggerated behaviors. Whether it's forced humor, excessive compliments, or overly elaborate gestures, these tactics can feel disingenuous. A genuine connection doesn't require theatrics. Instead, it thrives on moments of sincerity, shared understanding, and mutual respect. For instance, a heartfelt comment about something unique to her, not just her looks, can leave a far stronger impression than a rehearsed line meant to impress. Perhaps the most significant mistake of all is neglecting the emotional element. First impressions aren't just about making someone like you, they're about making them feel something. Women often remember not what was said, but how it made them feel. If your approach doesn't evoke warmth, intrigue, or comfort, it's unlikely to leave a lasting impact. A man who focuses solely on outward appearances or achievements misses the opportunity to connect on a deeper, emotional level. Avoiding these mistakes requires a shift in perspective. Instead of asking, "How can I make her like me?" consider, "How can I make her feel valued and understood?" This subtle change transforms the interaction from a performance into a shared experience where both individuals feel seen and appreciated. As we move forward, we'll explore the art of creating an unforgettable first impression by delving into the nuances of body language, authentic communication, and emotional connection. These elements, when mastered, can transform fleeting encounters into the foundation of meaningful relationships. Ready to uncover these secrets? Let's continue. True attraction isn't built on the surface. It's cultivated through a balance of confidence, authenticity, and a genuine interest in the other person. High-value men understand that creating a lasting impression requires more than just presenting an attractive exterior. It's about the subtle interplay between how you carry yourself, the way you communicate, and the emotions you evoke. Each element plays a vital role in shaping an experience that lingers long after the interaction ends. Body language is a silent yet powerful tool for creating memorable connections. The way you stand, move, and even pause speaks volumes about your confidence and emotional stability. A man who stands tall with relaxed shoulders projects an aura of assurance and approachability, signaling that he is comfortable in his own skin. Maintaining steady eye contact further reinforces this confidence, showing attentiveness and genuine interest without crossing into intensity. A sincere, warm smile, simple yet impactful, can instantly disarm tension and create a sense of comfort. In communication, authenticity reigns supreme. Women often perceive authenticity through the tone of their voice and the intention behind their words. A high-value man doesn't dominate a conversation to impress. Instead, he engages thoughtfully, asking meaningful questions that encourage the other person to open up. Rather than rattling off a rehearsed compliment, he might notice something unique about her and comment on it in a way that feels personal and heartfelt. This approach not only makes her feel seen, but also establishes a deeper sense of connection. Subtlety plays a pivotal role in leaving a strong impression. High-value men know that less is often more. They don't rush to fill silences or overwhelm the conversation with anecdotes about themselves. Instead, they create moments of intrigue and curiosity, letting the other person take an active role in the dialogue. For example, rather than explaining their entire career history in response to a question, they might say, "It's a bit of a story, but I'd love to share it another time." This leaves the door open for future conversations, making her eager to learn more. Equally important is how you make her feel during the interaction. Women are highly attuned to emotional cues, and a meaningful connection often hinges on how comfortable, valued, and understood they feel in your presence. A high-value man prioritizes creating an environment where she feels safe to express herself. By genuinely listening and responding with curiosity, he fosters a dynamic where both parties can share openly without fear of judgment. This emotional resonance transforms a casual conversation into a memorable experience. Confidence, however, should never border on arrogance. True confidence comes from self-assurance and a quiet strength that doesn't need to be flaunted. A man who knows his worth without seeking validation is far more attractive than someone who relies on external approval. This self-assuredness is evident in his actions and demeanor, from the way he carries himself to the care he takes and how he communicates. When paired with humility and a sense of humor, confidence becomes an irresistible quality. Another secret lies in the art of pacing. High-value men understand that creating a lasting impression is a marathon, not a sprint. They approach each interaction with patience, revealing themselves gradually and allowing the connection to develop naturally. This approach not only keeps the other person intrigued, but also demonstrates emotional maturity. Instead of rushing to impress, they focus on building rapport and trust over time, laying the groundwork for a relationship that can grow deeper with each interaction. Consider this scenario. You're at a social event, and you strike up a conversation with someone. Instead of leading with a rehearsed introduction or a flashy story, you take a moment to observe her demeanor and surroundings. You notice the book she's holding and say, "That's one of my favorites. What do you think of it so far?" This simple yet thoughtful observation opens the door to a conversation that feels organic and engaging. By focusing on shared interests and making her feel genuinely heard, you set the stage for a meaningful connection. As we move forward, It's important to recognize that these principles are not about manipulation, but about cultivating authentic relationships. The goal isn't to impress for the sake of validation, but to foster genuine connections rooted in respect and understanding. In the next section, we'll explore the subtle power of silence and mystery, two often overlooked tools that can enhance your ability to leave a lasting impression. Through strategic pauses and an air of intrigue, you can captivate her attention and keep her thinking about you long after the conversation ends. Let's uncover these hidden strengths. In a world filled with constant chatter and distractions, silence is a rare and powerful tool that high-value men wield with finesse. It's not about awkward pauses or withholding words, but about embracing the moments in between. When used intentionally, silence can be a gateway to deeper connections, creating space for thought, intrigue, and emotional resonance. The ability to hold silence confidently signals emotional strength and self-assuredness. Women, highly attuned to subtleties in interaction, often interpret these moments as a reflection of a man's inner stability. A man who isn't rushed to fill every pause with words conveys a calmness that is magnetic. It suggests that he's at ease with himself and doesn't rely on noise to assert his presence. Silence, when paired with steady eye contact or a slight smile, can communicate more than words ever could. Strategic silence also has a way of drawing the other person closer. When you allow a moment of quiet to linger, it creates an emotional vacuum, an irresistible pull that compels her to lean in, metaphorically and sometimes literally. This dynamic shifts the energy of the conversation, encouraging her to contribute and share more about herself. Instead of dominating the dialogue, you're inviting her to explore the space you've intentionally left open, fostering a sense of mutual engagement. Mystery, closely tied to the power of silence, is another key element that elevates your presence. In an age of oversharing, where every detail of one's life is often laid bare too soon, withholding some aspects of yourself creates a sense of intrigue. High-value men understand that exposing every facet of their lives too quickly can dilute the excitement of discovery. Instead, they reveal themselves gradually, letting their layers unfold naturally over time. For instance, when asked about your passions or career, offering a thoughtful yet incomplete response can pique her curiosity. "It's a bit complicated, but I absolutely love what I do," you might say with a knowing smile. This approach leaves her wanting to know more, setting the stage for future conversations. It's not about being evasive, but about understanding the allure of anticipation. Women are naturally drawn to men who carry an air of depth, someone whose story seems worth unraveling. The combination of silence and mystery creates a dynamic interaction that feels engaging, yet leaves room for imagination. It gives her something to think about after the conversation ends, allowing her mind to wander and replay moments that sparked her interest. This lingering intrigue keeps you present in her thoughts, transforming a single encounter into a lasting impression. Silence and mystery also convey confidence in a unique way. They signal that you're comfortable with not always being the center of attention, and that you value meaningful interactions over superficial exchanges. This quiet self-assurance is profoundly attractive, as it suggests a man who doesn't feel the need to prove his worth constantly. Instead, he trusts that the right connections will unfold naturally, grounded in authenticity. As you master these subtle yet impactful techniques, remember that they are tools to enhance connection, not manipulate it. The goal is to foster a sense of trust, comfort, and intrigue, an interplay of emotions that draws two people closer in a way that feels genuine and organic. In the next section, we'll explore how to sustain this connection beyond the initial encounter, focusing on ways to build rapport, maintain curiosity, and create emotional depth that lasts. Let's discover how to nurture these early sparks into something truly meaningful. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Leaving a powerful first impression is an art, but the real magic lies in how you sustain and deepen the connection that follows. A single interaction, no matter how impactful, is just the beginning. To truly build something meaningful, you must nurture that spark with intentionality and thoughtfulness, ensuring it evolves into a genuine bond. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to maintain a connection is through thoughtful follow-up. Remembering details from your initial conversation and weaving them into your next interaction demonstrates attentiveness and care. For instance, if she mentioned a project she's working on, a follow-up message like, "How's that project you mentioned going? I've been curious about what you shared," shows that you listened and value her interests. This small but significant act makes her feel seen and appreciated, setting the stage for further connection. Equally important is pacing your communication. While enthusiasm is natural, overcommunication can inadvertently diminish the intrigue and excitement cultivated during your first meeting. High-value men understand the importance of balance. They remain present and engaged, but also allow space for anticipation to grow. A well-timed message or call creates a rhythm that feels natural and inviting, rather than overwhelming or needy. Building rapport is about creating moments that feel personal and unique. Instead of generic conversations, lean into shared experiences or mutual interests uncovered during your first interaction. Suggesting a follow-up activity related to something she enjoys can be a great way to bridge the gap between initial attraction and deeper connection. For instance, you mentioned loving jazz. There's a live performance next week that I think you'd enjoy. Would you like to join me? This approach not only reinforces your attentiveness, but also invites her into an experience that feels meaningful. At the same time, authenticity remains paramount. Trying to impress through elaborate gestures or overcomplicating your interactions can make the connection feel performative rather than genuine. Instead, focus on small but sincere actions that reinforce trust and intimacy. A kind message on a special day, a thoughtful compliment, or even sharing something that reminded you of her are all ways to subtly deepen your bond without overshadowing it. Another powerful element in maintaining a connection is consistency. People are drawn to those who provide a sense of reliability and emotional safety. By being consistent in your words and actions, you signal that you're someone she can count on, a quality that resonates deeply when building trust. Whether it's showing up when you say you will, keeping promises, or simply being present during conversations, consistency lays a strong foundation for lasting relationships. However, sustaining intrigue requires more than consistency alone. Mystery and subtlety, as explored earlier, continue to play a crucial role even after the first encounter. Sharing bits of your life, gradually rather than all at once, keeps her engaged and eager to learn more about you. This doesn't mean withholding important aspects of yourself, but rather pacing your vulnerability and allowing the relationship to unfold naturally. The emotional connection also deepens when both parties feel valued and understood. Listening actively, responding thoughtfully, and validating her feelings are key to fostering this bond. For example, if she shares something personal or vulnerable, acknowledge it with empathy and curiosity. A response like, "That must have been a challenging experience. Thank you for trusting me with it," shows respect and care, encouraging further openness. As you navigate the journey from the initial spark to a meaningful connection, remember that every interaction builds on the last. Each moment of engagement is an opportunity to reinforce the feelings of safety, intrigue, and understanding that first drew her to you. By focusing on authenticity, attentiveness, and emotional resonance, you create a dynamic that feels both exciting and secure. In the next section, we'll explore how to transform these growing connections into enduring relationships, uncovering the unspoken principles of emotional depth, mutual respect, and shared growth. Building lasting bonds goes beyond chemistry. It's about creating a partnership that thrives on trust and intentionality. Let's uncover the secrets to a long-term connection. As initial sparks grow into something more meaningful, the key to sustaining the connection lies in fostering emotional depth. High-value men recognize that lasting relationships are not built solely on shared experiences, but on mutual trust, vulnerability, and the ability to navigate emotions together. These elements create a foundation where both individuals feel seen, respected, and valued. Emotional depth begins with the willingness to be present and attentive in every interaction. When she speaks, listen with genuine curiosity, not just to respond, but to understand. Small gestures like asking thoughtful follow-up questions or remembering minor details she's shared show that you care about her world. These moments of active listening create an environment where she feels comfortable opening up, which strengthens the bond between you. Mutual respect is another cornerstone of emotional depth. This means acknowledging and appreciating her individuality, as well as the dreams, fears, and quirks that make her unique. Avoid falling into the trap of imposing your own expectations or ideals onto her. Instead, celebrate her differences and recognize that a relationship thrives when both partners can fully express who they are without fear of judgment. Vulnerability also plays a pivotal role. Sharing pieces of your story, your struggles, or even your insecurities invites her to do the same. This exchange of personal truths creates a sense of intimacy that surface-level conversations can't achieve. However, vulnerability must be balanced with emotional resilience. Being open about your challenges while demonstrating your strength in overcoming them inspires confidence and fosters a sense of safety. High-value men also understand the importance of shared growth. Building a lasting connection involves not only supporting each other's individual goals, but also cultivating a shared vision for the future. Discussing aspirations, exploring new interests together, or even setting small goals as a pair fosters a partnership dynamic that feels collaborative and fulfilling. It's in these shared moments of growth that the relationship evolves from simply being enjoyable to being deeply meaningful. Equally essential is maintaining the sense of excitement and mystery that first drew you together. This doesn't mean playing games or withholding yourself, but finding ways to keep the relationship dynamic and engaging. Surprising her with thoughtful gestures, planning spontaneous activities, or revisiting a cherished memory are all ways to reignite the spark while reinforcing the emotional depth you've built. As your bond strengthens, it's natural for challenges to arise. How you navigate these moments can define the trajectory of your relationship. Approach conflicts with empathy and a willingness to find common ground. Instead of focusing on being right, prioritize understanding her perspective and working toward a resolution that honors both your needs. These moments of compromise and growth are often where the deepest connections are forged. With emotional depth as your foundation, you create a relationship that doesn't just endure, but thrives. In the next section, we'll explore how these principles translate into long-term connection strategies, ensuring that your bond remains vibrant, fulfilling, and ever-evolving. Let's discover the art of creating love and intimacy that stand the test of time. The foundation of a strong connection lies in emotional depth, but transforming that connection into lasting intimacy requires consistent effort and intentionality. High-value men understand that intimacy is not a fixed state, but a dynamic process that evolves over time. It demands an ongoing commitment to nurturing trust, passion, and mutual understanding, ensuring that the bond remains vibrant and fulfilling. At the heart of long-term intimacy is the ability to communicate openly and authentically. This goes beyond surface-level discussions and dives into the unspoken fears, desires, and dreams that shape both your lives. When you create a space where vulnerability is met with empathy rather than judgment, intimacy deepens naturally. Encourage conversations about feelings and aspirations, and be willing to share your own. For example, expressing gratitude for her presence in your life not only strengthens your bond, but also reinforces her sense of value in the relationship. Equally important is the role of physical connection in maintaining intimacy. Physical touch, whether it's a gentle hand on her shoulder during a conversation or a warm embrace after a long day, speaks volumes about affection and closeness. High-value men are attuned to their partner's comfort and preferences, ensuring that physical intimacy is always rooted in mutual consent and respect. These small gestures of affection go a long way in keeping the flame alive, especially when they're unexpected yet thoughtful. Shared experiences also play a significant role in fostering lasting connection. The memories you create together become the fabric of your relationship, offering a shared history that strengthens your bond. Prioritize activities that both of you enjoy, whether it's exploring new places, pursuing a hobby together, or simply carving out connections and meaningful conversations over a quiet dinner. These moments serve as reminders of why your connection is special and worth cherishing. While shared experiences are vital, maintaining individuality within the relationship is equally crucial. A strong partnership allows both individuals to grow and thrive as their authentic selves. Encourage her to pursue her passions and take pride in her achievements, just as you do for your own. This balance between togetherness and independence fosters mutual respect and admiration, preventing the relationship from becoming stagnant or overly dependent. Conflict, though often seen as a challenge, can be an opportunity to deepen intimacy when handled with care. Disagreements are inevitable, but how you navigate them can either strengthen or weaken your bond. Approach conflicts with patience and a focus on resolution, rather than winning. Listen to her perspective with an open mind, and articulate your own feelings without resorting to blame. When both parties feel heard and respected, even difficult conversations can bring you closer. To keep the relationship dynamic, infuse it with elements of surprise and spontaneity. Planning a surprise date, writing her a heartfelt note, or even recreating a memorable moment from your early days together can reignite the spark and remind her of the joy you share. These gestures need not be grand, it's the thoughtfulness behind them that leaves a lasting impression. As you continue to nurture intimacy, remember that the journey is as important as the destination. A fulfilling relationship is not about perfection, but about growing together through every challenge and triumph. By prioritizing communication, affection, shared experiences, and mutual respect, you lay the groundwork for a bond that not only endures but flourishes. In the final section, we'll reflect on the principles of building meaningful connections and how these lessons extend beyond romantic relationships. Love and intimacy, when nurtured with intention, become forces that enrich every aspect of life. Let's conclude by exploring how these values can guide you in creating a life filled with connection and purpose. As we look back on the principles of creating and sustaining meaningful connections, one truth becomes abundantly clear. Relationships are the heart of a fulfilling life. Whether it's a romantic partnership, a friendship, or a professional bond, the ability to connect deeply with others enriches our experiences and shapes our purpose. High-value men understand that mastering these skills is not just about attraction, it's about building a life rooted in trust, respect, and shared growth. Every interaction, from the first impression to the moments that define long-term intimacy, carries an opportunity to foster connection. When you approach relationships with authenticity, curiosity, and emotional depth, you create an environment where both you and those around you can thrive. This means being present, listening actively, and showing genuine care for the people who matter to you. Even small gestures, like remembering a meaningful detail or offering a word of encouragement, can have a profound impact. It's also important to remember that connection extends beyond words. The way you carry yourself, your body language, tone, and energy communicate as much, if not more, than what you say. By embodying quiet confidence and approaching each interaction with sincerity, you invite others to feel comfortable and valued in your presence. These unspoken cues create a foundation of trust and openness that paves the way for deeper relationships. As you navigate the complexities of human connection, embrace the imperfections that come with it. Relationships are not linear, they are dynamic and ever-evolving. There will be moments of challenge and misunderstanding, but these are opportunities for growth. High-value men see conflict not as a roadblock, but as a chance to build resilience and strengthen their bonds. Approaching these situations with empathy and a willingness to compromise fosters a sense of partnership that endures. Beyond romantic relationships, the principles of connection ripple outward into every aspect of life. In friendships, these skills foster loyalty and mutual support. In professional settings, they build collaboration and trust. Even in fleeting interactions with strangers, the ability to connect can leave a lasting impression that brightens someone's day. This holistic approach to connection transforms it from a skill into a way of life. As we conclude this journey through the art of attraction and connection, take a moment to reflect on how these principles can shape your relationships and, ultimately, your legacy. Every effort to connect authentically, every act of kindness and understanding contributes to a life well lived. With these tools at your disposal, you have the power to create bonds that not only enrich your own life, but but also inspire and uplift those around you. And so, the journey of building meaningful connections doesn't end here. It's a continuous process of learning, growing, and embracing the beauty of human relationships. Take these lessons forward and let them guide you, whether in love, friendship, or the pursuit of your life's purpose. Connection is the thread that ties it all together, and the possibilities it offers are limitless. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from this topic. Have any thoughts or personal experiences to share? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to join our community for more empowering content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, embrace the journey with confidence.